Hey everyone, it's Derek here with Members for Members. We're going to be talking about the tentative agreement, UPS contract here. I've been receiving a lot of phone calls. They want to know what the changes are, so we're going to go over quite a few things, okay? So I'm going to start off with here, about a week ago, our local 542, that is, was handing out flyers for the contract proposal meeting just 2 days before it actually happened, right? Nothing like the last minute. You got to be out there, at least a week before, know how to organize, get people together so they understand how important that contract proposal meeting really was. Shop stewards like Robert Moron, he was handing my parking lot meeting flyers to management, telling them to discipline me. We had other shop steward telling members not to attend any of my meetings, not to listen to me, just to get on the app. Again, guys, if this is about being united, getting the right information, because there's information everywhere. It's not just me, it's everywhere. Get as much as you can so you could better understand the contract. But telling people to just do one thing, again, that's what our culture's been for a long time here. The local and their stewards told members that Sean O'Brien and myself and Members Remember only want to strike. They've been saying that for 2 years now, guys. Last I checked, we vote on contracts. Sean O'Brien doesn't vote on it, okay? And I don't make up the majority of the membership. During this entire process of the strike preparation, our local 542 executive board, which consists of Jamie Vasquez, Dwayne Garrett, Mike West, Linda Linville, Ed Swink, Jenny Vasquez, and local Small Rob, they're still refusing to remove a strike breaker from our 97 strike as their steward, yet they're pointing fingers. I think this is a pretty big deal. During the contract proposal meeting, former business agent Paul Sampson said that creating the 224 position was a stepping stone in the right direction in our past contract, while he and former President Phil Farias and current President Dwayne Garrett were actually on that negotiating committee back in 2018, guys. He then blamed Sean O'Brien and said our new pension contributions are because we voted for him. Yeah. Had we voted for Herrera and Verma, we still have Paul Sampson's favorite 224 concession amongst other concessions we've had for the past 20 years. So our local leaders voted for Ron Herrera, who actually got kicked out of the Teamsters, if you guys don't know that, for racial remarks made. Paul Sampson was on the negotiating committee again. He endorsed that 224 two-tier system. He's blaming Sean O'Brien, who just had to clean up his mess with that 224 concession. I got to tell you, he was by far the worst BA I've ever seen at local 542. And I've been here 25 years, and that's probably why he's not a BA anymore. It's for comments like that, saying a concession was a good thing, and still standing up for it. It's embarrassing. Our president, Dwayne Garrett, blamed the IBT for everything as far as the pension contract goes. He said our local had nothing to do with the negotiations. Those of you who were there heard that. He said it was all Sean O'Brien and his VPs. I thought we were all supposed to be united, where everyone makes the same wage for the same work, same pension, no matter where you live, all that. Well, we just received Martin Luther King Day as a paid holiday, guys. I asked President Dwayne Garrett if he and our local BAs will enforce the contract when the company tries to force us in to work on our holidays like the day after Thanksgiving and MLK Day. He said that the company can force us in on any holiday. And business agent Adam Palaio then chimed in and reiterated that too. He's reiterating that, he too will be selling us out by allowing the company to force us in. I asked that question, guys, because I wanted to illustrate to the members how weak and sold out our representation truly are, and you got to hear it. Our local also said that the current 224s were smart to become 224s because they're now being converted to RCPDs. They said that the cover drivers got what they deserved by not taking 224 positions when they were available. They don't even consider how difficult working on a Saturday is, especially on a lot of these drivers, some single dads, single moms. The children need care, again, because our local doesn't work on Saturdays typically, right? While our president, Dwayne Garrett, was going over our pension contributions, he skipped right through the section pertaining to our contributions to our health and welfare by stating it didn't affect us. One of our drivers had to call them out on their lack of transparency, which we're all familiar with here at Local 542. So I'm going to jump right into our pension situation, guys, so you guys get an idea. This is the big deal, right? Especially here in the West. So in other parts of the country, they're getting $1 contribution rate. So that's $1 per hour per 8 hours in a day, okay? So we're getting 50 cents to our pension. We're getting lower here in the West because our pension's in good shape, right? So 25 cents of our pension, 25 cents of the 50 cents goes to our pension. The other 25 cents goes to health and welfare. So our pension contribution here in the West will go from you making $13.21 to $13.46 per hour effective August 1st, 2023. This contribution will only happen once in 2023. The 1.6 accrual rate for our pension has been removed as well. So in the past, we received like $1 contribution. which obviously adds up. And that was very important because it keeps healthcare costs low and allows a company to continue to offer health benefits. Just remember, we pay for this through our pension. So if we get like a dollar contribution, and let's just say that our healthcare uses 30 cents of that dollar, then we only get 70 cents of that contribution into our pension. Okay. So now if we're just getting 25 cents, and let's say the healthcare is 35 cents, there's a problem. That's where you run into a lot of issues. Okay. But again, they're stating if our pensions in the West begin to struggle at any point, the accrual rate will be increased along with our pension contribution. But right now, they're also saying it's in great shape. And I understand that. But again, any pension that is failing right now in other areas, they're getting $1, right? So for example, in the South, they're only getting like $3,200 a month, guys, if they retire, where we're like, between $4,700 and $5,300 a month. And so what does this all mean? Struggling pension plans get needed boosts, right? Because they're getting $1, we're not. The healthy plans like ours get no additional contributions. When members were polled about what was the most important thing to them in this contract, wages were number one. So as you can see, the wage increase we just received was the highest I've ever seen, we've ever received, here, as you can see here. So again, 60% of our workforce are the part-timers, and as you can see, they obviously preferred the wage increase. A person like myself, I've been here for a while, it's usually health and pension. So I'm going to go over the changes, guys, of our contract real quick so you understand what's changed, okay? Article 6, Section 6, cameras. The language prohibits inward-facing cameras. Functionality will be disabled. Sensors are just for distracted driving. No discipline allowed. Cameras are still there, though, guys. So, again, we're going to have to trust the company's going to disable it. Yeah, I don't know about that. Let's see, 28,000 new vehicles with AC in the hottest areas of the country over the contract. Fans, heat shields, and cargo venting required on new and old vehicles. There's no retrofitting vehicles for AC, though. The effectiveness of cargo vents is debatable. I have no idea how effective that's going to be. Payroll errors, increased penalty for payroll errors. No increased penalty for missing or incorrect vacation pay. Penalty pay for failing to pay grievances is unclear. It's still a little vague. Heat injury and illness prevention. Lots of positive requirements of water, ice, fans, designated heat monitor personnel for each shift. There's no AC in the buildings, though, guys. It's a problem. Let's see. Part-timers. Starting pay increase from $15.50 to $21. Further increases. Again, all current part-timers, they're making the same, only slightly more than the new hires for most of the contract. This is a big issue right now for the part-timers. They're having a lot of problems with this. But again, guys, this is why we always say organize, get involved early on before these contracts go through so you can have your voice heard. So PVD use is restricted, offered to current employees first with 8-hour guarantees, mileage pay, insurance, and they can't take the work from us, the RCPDs, who want it. PVDs, though, still exist. SurePost, further restrictions on SurePost packages. Again, though, they still exist. We're relying on company technology. So it's good. The burden's going to be on us, guys, to police them, we the members. Subcontracting has been restricted, but it's still allowed. Let's see here. Again, pensions had solid increases in other parts of the country, but some pensions are still below in other parts. So, again, like I said, in the West, we're being affected more than others. Company must give 24-hour notice on rides and the reason for the ride now when you have ride-alongs, guys. But there's no limit to the number of frequency of the rides. Increased quadruple time for penalty for 9-5 grievances, guys. So also the remaining 2 days of the week, Thursday and Friday, if you're over dispatch, you can grieve that now. Excessive is undefined. Return to old qualifications for protections, making it difficult for former 224s to get protection. More complicated process. The problem of excessive overtime is still not solved. Notice required shortened from 5 calendar days to 5 working days as far as 8-hour requests go. So just 3 days before you need it, go ahead. The penalty changed from 2 hours straight time to 2 hours double time. Management required to adjust dispatch prior to departure. And if you're out there and you're not going to meet at 8 hours, you got till 1 p.m. to notify management. Let's see, full-time wages. So $750, guys, we got over the length of this contract. Other progressions, though, we're not short. We saw that 4-year progression. So any of the new RCPD who work under 4 years as a driver, they'll fall into the old 9.5 language, so they'll be able to file the 9.5 grievances, but only if they bid on a weekly route, okay? We get quadruple time for supervisors working after 3 violations. It's another one, new thing. If you train a new employee, you get an additional $1 an hour, okay, to your pay. 224 drivers shall be reclassified to regular package car drivers placed in seniority, and their pay rate will be adjusted to top rate or their progression rate. 224s will now have 9.5 protection as well as the ability to request 8-hour days. That is the big one. It's the one we all wanted. I remember Sean O'Brien promising me that personally when I met him. It did happen. So great job there. If the employer assigns excessive overtime for the remaining 2 days, I just spoke about that earlier, you can't file on that. Co-chairs shall have the discretion to award the penalty at triple time, though, okay? In the preload operations, preloaders may select specific load positions or workstations when there is a permanent vacancy. Unloaders, sorters, etc. may select specific work areas. Discharge, suspension, and suspension cases shall be heard in front of a sitting arbitrator now. It used to take months, guys, 6-7 months, if not longer, to schedule a hearing with an arbitrator. So this is actually a huge improvement. Probation period for all new package drivers will now consist of 10 days in classroom and an additional 30 working days on the road. We used to just be 30 days. They added 10. Employees shall have the option to take 1 week of their accrued vacation time and break it up into individual days or combined into a block of 2 days. Okay, so that's cool. It's one of our week vacations. You guys can break it up and spread it out. Any employee who declines feeder school 3 times shall be removed from the list. Said employee may resubmit a new request though at any time, okay? Any seniority employee in the home sort will get paid time and a half if they work over 6 hours or 8 hours a day or 40 hours in a week. Beginning August 1st, 2027, though, employees will then get paid time and a half if you work over 5.5 hours, okay? Instead of working the 6. No RCPD shall be forced to work any day outside of their scheduled work week. Under no circumstances shall irregular or over 70-pound packages be commingled with regular packages on a moving belt or slide. This is huge. It causes so many injuries. Our local 542 preached unity over and over, yet they are refusing to stand united for these contract negotiations. There's a lot of finger pointing in that meeting there on Sunday. I was asked what happens if we vote the contract down. If they go back to the table to negotiate our contract, if we go on strike. They're asking, look, what's going to happen to the original agreements? Well, they can go out the window, guys. UPS can come back and say, nah, you know what? Remember getting rid of that 224? Nah, we don't want it. We're going to bring it back. So a lot of these things, it causes a lot of issues, okay? They can actually change their mind. Our president, Dwayne Garrett, was pointing fingers at the IBT over and over, claiming it's that we're negotiating that led to our pension being negatively affected in the West. He claimed that he had nothing to do with any negotiations, yet we all know the shop steward, Donovan Williams, is a feeder driver here at Local 542, was actually on the negotiating committee. For those of you at that proposal meeting, notice how Donovan Williams didn't give any input at all at the contract proposal meeting. I thought the purpose of being a part of the negotiating committee was to be the voice for the members, yet that voice remained silent at our meeting. Look at this picture of them in Washington, D.C. during negotiations, okay? Instead of pointing fingers at our leaders from the IBT, how about you talk about being united right now when the going gets tough? This is a very big deal. This contract was about benefiting the members who've never been at the top as far as pay or pension goes. As we know, 62,000 part-timers have over 5 years of service with the company already. So there's a 4-year progression. So those members will actually be in pretty decent shape. Again, guys, how many years have you seen members for members out there at every UPS facility handing out flyers on our own time, educating members on our contract, grievances, etc.? I mean, I've spent thousands of dollars on videos, flyers, flying out to different cities, states, workshops to better prepare myself to gather the right information to educate members. I mean, that's called being united as a rank and file. Ask yourself, did you ever see any of our BAs out there on their own time educating members? No, because none of them did. They only go out there now because we pay their salaries. Everyone wants change or better representation or a better contract from their union, but they fail to realize that they are the union. Many of the members who complain all the time fail to volunteer their time to educate themselves or others on the matters pertaining to the contract, etc. President Sean O'Brien and Fred Zuckerman have mobilized the membership like I've never seen before. Members have never been this active in my 25 years, so props to them. The negotiating committee included rank and file members. They agreed to use the full force of our bargaining power to get wage increases for full and part-time employees. Last time we got a $4 and $15 raise in the entire contract. This time we got $750 and $275 is up front. That's great. Okay. We eliminated the 224 two-tier system, boosting up thousands of our drivers to top tier. I mean, these guys really scored. That was the big win, reversing that concession. We got 7,500 new 223 jobs created by combining 15,000 lower wage part-time jobs. That hadn't been done in the past 20 years, guys. So those priorities were won. They took priority over the extra 50 cents in our pension plan. Some people want more here in the West, which is understandable because our cost of living is insane here, especially for me in San Diego. Many of the members have informed me that they will lose a lot of money in their retirement in the long run, and they're not okay with that. I'm getting this a lot here. We won twice as much in this contract as the last, and we reversed many of the concessions. But to many of the members here in the West, they feel that the small contribution to their pension is a major concession. And this is something they got to figure out, okay? So for the members who know me best, I'm always fighting for improvements, guys, wherever I feel we need it. I've been in lawsuits with the company. I've been in lawsuits with our local union. I've always fought for what I believe is right. And I've been the most active Teamster at Local 542, and everyone knows that. So, look, everyone keeps demanding that I tell them how to vote on this contract. That's all I hear. But, you know, I'm not doing that because I believe everyone should decide on their own what benefits them and their families. My situation differs from everyone else when you consider my age, years of service, family situation, experience, and moral beliefs. My hope is that you can all make an educated decision based on the information I try to provide to the best of my ability in this video, guys. And again, if this pension thing is a big issue for you, it is your right to vote however you want to vote on this contract, okay? And just remember that. We don't need management telling us what to do or anyone else. We're all adults. I hope I gave you enough information so you can make a good decision on this contract. So thanks for checking in. I'll talk to you guys soon.